All right. Oh boy. Me and Joey, we've been excited for this one for 8+ months. Been on the counter for a long time. Our favorite segment, the game of the week. This week, we've got a do or die matchup. Playoff stakes are already on the line. 1-0 or 0-1 will play a bigger deal than anybody realizes. It is LSU, ninth-ranked LSU, taking on fourth-ranked Clemson in the fake Death Valley. We're kicking off at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Mason?
Oh boy. Yeah, so there was a lot of seemingly and hopefully great matchups this week. But the game of the week is so hard to choose with all these great matchups. But it ultimately came down to the Tigers versus Tigers and the first installment of the battle for Death Valley. And Isaac, I know you have a lot of points you want to hit, so let's hear it, buddy.
So, first off, Clemson is favored by 3.5. This is really interesting. Every projection I've looked at has said Clemson by 3, Clemson by 4. I looked at one today that said 31-27 Clemson in a thriller. I can only hope it's that close. Brian Kelly has an opening game losing streak and is attempting to avoid losing 4 straight. LSU has not won a season opener since 2019. We're 4-6 since 2015, with 5 of those losses being 2020 to present day. It's a big deal. The significance really is of needing to prove who the real Death Valley and the real Tigers are. LSU has a chance to make a statement as they'll host Clemson in Week 1 in 2026 and the second part of a home and home. LSU's defense seemed to click, at least somewhat, with Blake Baker last year. After Harold Perkins got hurt, Whit Weeks stepped up to be a big player and really the star of the defense. Side note, I sat next to Whit Weeks' parents on a flight in 2022. Pretty cool. I didn't know who their kids were at the time, but we know now. How will they look with the return of number 7? LSU's O-line only returns 1 starter from 2024, although we did add 2 starting transfers with a combined 45 out of 64 total starts for the offensive line for this year. So very young O-line, 2 guys combined for almost 2/3 of the starts. Now, there's a lot of hype surrounding the Nuss Bus for 2025, but how will he fare with a run game that's been inconsistent at best and a D-line in Clemson that some are saying could be the best D-line in college football in 2025?
It's crazy how you brought up only one starter from the O-line for LSU is returning, Isaac, because Clemson is returning 81% of its total production for the 2025 season. That is 16 total starters. 86% of its offensive production returning 8 of the 11 offensive starters, and then 75% of its defensive production returning 8 of those starters returning. Some defensive stars to look out for, especially against that you know, new offensive line. You got Peter Woods at D tackle. You got TJ Parker at DN, Avion Terrell at DB. You got Khalil Barnes in the safety position, as well as Wade Woodaz and Sammy Brown at those linebacker spots. But wait, there's more. The offensive stars of Clemson, the most hyped up players coming into this season. There's Cade Klubnik at the helm. There's also TJ Moore and Bryant Wesco, 2 young rising stars, as well as Antonio Williams, the star of last year. Hopefully he improves even more. And lastly, but certainly not least, the co-MVPs of the ACC championship game, Adam Ramdell, who was wide receiver, but is now turned running back, and then Nolan Hauser. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Clemson's kicker. Now, I will point out, with the injury of Jay Haynes, a freshman running back may get some decent playing time, splitting counts with Adam Randall, Gideon Davidson. So also watch out for him. There's no tape on him. So I'm excited for this one.
Listen, I have been listening to them bicker and go back and forth about who the real Death Valley is for years, guys. You can check our TikToks and our YouTube shorts and you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm tired of this. It's time to settle in on the field. Who y'all got? Even though I'm pretty sure I know.
Man, listen, there's no need to make this long and drawn out. I'm going to be there on Saturday. Give me the purple and gold LSU Tigers. I like Brian Kelly to get a win. It's going to be a stressful game, a long day, a tough game, but give me the boys from Baton Rouge. Go Tigers.
I think a big word that is gonna be used a lot between me and Isaac between now and Saturday is the word stressful. I genuinely don't know how this game is gonna turn out, especially with the scarring results of last year's season opener. But you know what? Cade Klubnik is still in it. I'm going to be choosing my Clemson Tigers.
Oh boy, yep, I knew this was going to happen. I am split down the middle to make the final decision. So, this one's actually difficult than you would think. I mean, obviously, Clemson's going to have the home field advantage. They return a lot of starters, but there's a lot of pressure on Brian Kelly right now, really for pride to prove that he's still got it. He's one of the best coaches in college football right now, but doesn't have a national championship or really hardly anything to show for it. And of course, he doesn't have any conference championships because he was at Notre Dame for so long, who doesn't play in a conference. However, man, this is a really difficult pick, but I'm going to have to go with the Tigers of Clemson. Give me Dabo. I think he's still got the dynasty. I just don't trust Brian Kelly. I think I mentioned it a little bit ago, but I am not high on Garrett Nussmeier. I think Cade Klubnik is going to have this offense ready and explosive, and I am super excited to see it. Although I do think it's going to be a close game, and I do think Garrett Nussmeier is still a good quarterback. I do think that it's going to come down to Clemson just being the better team under the lights at Memorial Stadium.